before this stream started,
Oh yeah.
We were talking about playing Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and the way that Pat pitched it to me was that Pat was like, "Oh, it'll be great because SungWon loves anime, and it's also like a gacha game, and like it'll be like a lot of his interests." Fully unaware that SungWon voices someone in this game. I want to talk to you about obviously voice acting, specifically for this game.
Okay.
How did it come about to you? First and foremost, how did you get the job, and then what was the job actually like?
I got the job. I was sent the audition, and I auditioned for a couple characters. But Basaraga was the one that I booked, and then it was really fun. Actually, it was a lot of screaming, a lot of efforts and stuff. But the character is really fun to play, and also this was one of those jobs where you get to in some sessions they will play the Japanese, and you get to kind of copy the sounds or whatever on your end. So yeah, it was fun.
That's nice. I want to focus in on efforts, and because that's I think what I'm most interested in here in a fighting game.
Sure.
How did you do that? What was the experience like of just being I don't even know what it's like. So I do want to know how you grunt in different ways.
Oh sure. Well, usually it's you're looking at an Excel sheet, I'm not kidding, an Excel sheet of just different descriptions of efforts, and it'll be light jab, axe swing, and sometimes they get really descriptive.
They have the frame data on there.
Well, no joke, in a lot of cases, because this is a fighting game, you have to get efforts within a certain second mark. Wow. So it'll be you have 2.3 seconds. He swings his axe into the air in an arc motion and swings it back down. So it's like that. You gotta match it, and they're it's 2.7. We gotta shave it down and do it again. But they're usually pretty good about especially the engineers in a voiceover session are incredible, because they do all the worrying and all the busy work for you in terms of making sure you're good.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff where it's if you have to match a cutscene specifically, the ultras or stuff in this game where they're very specifically animated, then you're just straight up dubbing to the actions on screen.
You have played, so not only, I was going to say, just in video games, so you've played this character, you've played Flak in Borderlands 3, is that right? Beastmaster. Yeah. They were a very interesting character. And very also, I was going to say, they distorted your voice a little bit for that one too, right?
A little bit, yeah. They added a sort of robot filter on it.
The hunt is everything, and the pack is always ready.
I haven't played the game yet, but in the game it actually doesn't sound nearly as modified. In the trailer, I remember hearing it sounding pretty, not completely unrecognizable, but they definitely kind of did it. But in the game itself, I recognize it's a lot less so, I feel.
Yeah. I was going to ask, do you have a favorite character that you voiced? I'm sure you get this a lot too. But was there one that was super fun to do?
They were all torturous, just miserable experiences. I mean, I don't necessarily have a favorite, but it's more there's just fun moments, I guess, when recording, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like a cop out, but it's not necessarily. I think, well, I mean, at this point, because I've voiced Flak for so long, it's kind of fun knowing already instinctually how the character will say certain lines, I guess.
Yeah.
So at this point, maybe Flak actually, just because. Well, with all the DLC we've done and the main game, and plus in 3 they talk. The main characters talk a lot more than in the previous games. So, I mean, at this point, I know everything that happens in the game. I just haven't played it because they have reaction lines for every possible mission and scene.
Wow.
So probably my favorite ones are ones where you can kind of really have multiple sessions and kind of really dig into and get into the character.
probably, it sounds a little bit stressful, a little bit nerve-wracking, but I guess that's why you're a professional voice actor. And
Definitely in the beginning, for sure. Like, I mean, you know, my very first sessions, I was very, very nervous. But then it's just a matter of just after doing it, you know, over and over and over again, you just eventually, like, I'm sure, you know, for you when you were, I mean, you have like a background in performing, right?
Yeah, I guess
but
so.
You've acted on stage, right? Yeah. Were you nervous in the beginning, or are you nervous every time?
There's always a little bit of nerves. I feel
a little
right?
bit, sure, but obviously as you just build experience or whatever, you know, it becomes more comfortable.
Yeah.
At this point, I would say I'm only nervous if it's like. If I haven't booked it yet, but it's like a callback or something like that, then obviously nerves really build up. But otherwise, if I have the gig, it's like, well, let's just go in and, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like they can fire me.
Right, I think I might have got it. Ready?
They absolutely could if they wanted to.
I've heard some of my more like cinema film school friends.
Yes, I see.
But yeah, so you've also done like I think what's interesting is that like you can play characters like that scary big boy that we just saw, but you've also played a small cat king, is that right?
Yeah, in Radiant.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say you were in Tuca and Birdie, right?
Yes.
Which is coming back, which is super exciting on Adult Swim.
Yes, I'm very glad that when I heard the announcement about that.
Super huge. But like when you're swapping between like the intense King Dragon style deep voice and just like the goofy fun stuff, are you expected to do that all in like one day, or are you doing it in like different times? Like what's the way you get into that intense voice versus into the funny goofy one?
It's hard. It's like when people ask you like how do you act good, and it's like I don't know, you just kind of focus, right? But I guess if you have a good director who can like, I think good directors are invaluable, then yeah, I think it's a combination of like the director and the reference and just sort of focus. I think for me, my favorite sessions are always ones where, and this sounds so like fucking cheesy, but it's like when I'm really into it and not even thinking like, oh, this is a voice acting session, I'm just like, I become the character. But you know what I'm talking about, when you get so wrapped up in it, right? When you get so into the moment that you're not focusing on like, how do I read the line, you're just kind of like, I am the in the scene. That's the most fun. Like when I was a young, you know, when I was like in high school or whatever, and I kind of like experienced that for the first time. Like we were just like, my friend would just write like radio plays, and then we would just sort of do them for fun. But I remember very distinctly when I actually got into it, and like didn't think about being self-conscious or like, oh, am I doing good or am I doing it right, and just sort of diving into the character. That was when like, oh fuck, I want to do this like more and more. This is what I've discovered what I wanted to do. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but that's what I want to do with my life.
I'm sorry, I need to ask this question. Yes. Where does ProZD come from?
That is a secret I will take to my grave. Let me tell you this. I made that username when I was in elementary school. Okay. And it's so embarrassing that even my wife doesn't know. I offered to tell her once, but I was like, it will ruin it.
That's the old name.
So dumb. And she was like, okay, I guess I don't want to know.
Oh, man.
So unless we're married, Brian, unfortunately, even then I might not tell you.
Yeah,
so,
okay, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.